Good evening, I'm Erin Nordlow.
And I'm Josh Weber. Here's what's coming up next on UWM Panthervision.
UWM now has its own brawn. She doesn't play baseball, but she'll be in charge of it. We'll explain.
Now, a presentation for the Honorable King George of England.
A bit of Britain comes to Waukesha to hammer home a point.
A popular 80s dance craze is making a comeback, and it's shaking things up on campus.
Good thing this isn't the diving team. What has these swimmers jumping for joy? All that and more next on UWM Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. For the fourth time in less than 3 years, UWM has a new athletic director.
Amanda Braun will take over on May 1st.
And as James Ashcroft reports, she has her work cut out for her.
As the cars come and go into Milwaukee's Klotsky Center, the same could be said for the athletic director.
I've only been here for 2 years, but we've had 2 different athletic directors, so.
In the last 8 years, Milwaukee has gone through 9 different athletic directors.
I think if they get a new person that's willing to stay for a long period of time, I think it would be really good for the program.
Perhaps by giving the AD a gift of goodies, she may stay for a longer period of time.
I think our students would call that a bag of swag.
Amanda Braun was selected for her hard work at other programs and the potential she brings to helping Milwaukee's department grow.
We're really excited to have Amanda on board. You know, when you take a look at the skill set and where we want to try to take the athletic program, I think she's got the background and experience to really help us grow.
A Wisconsin native, Braun is familiar with the Horizon League, having previously worked at UW Green Bay.
I think the learning curve will be better for me because I am so familiar and have a lot of familiar faces in the Horizon League.
One of the major points Braun will have to deal with is the facilities at UW Milwaukee and how she intends to improve them.
You know, facilities are important in college athletics, and so we need to make sure we're doing what we need to do to be successful.
For now, though, Braun sees the people involved with the athletic department as a key to getting UWM's program back to the top.
Number one is going to be our staff and the culture within athletics to really help everyone come together and feel like we're going in the right direction.
Braun doesn't start work till May 1st, but there is a general consensus that her enthusiasm for the job will take Milwaukee into the right direction. In Milwaukee, for Panthervision, I'm James Ashcroft.
The new athletic director will have her hands full.
Facilities seem to be the most pressing issue. The baseball team needs a field. They currently play at Henry Aaron Field, and the players have to do all the maintenance. There's been various proposals for building a new Kolache Center and new practice facilities. The way the university plans on doing this is by fundraising. Andy Geiger, the former athletic director, will now be helping in that area.
One of the things that we charged him when he came here was to help us complete the strategic plan for athletics. And now that we have the plan, we need to start incorporating some of the things that we find that we need to get to the next level, and some of that is actually fundraising and building these new facilities. And when he was at Ohio State, you know, he built every athletic facility for all their sports programs, so he's got a lot of experience in doing that, and we're going to utilize his expertise there.
Geiger has developed a strategic plan for the department. Braun says it will help guide her efforts.
Amanda Braun is UWM's 4th athletic director since 2010. She steps in for Geiger, who took the temporary position last May. Geiger, a former Ohio State athletic director, came to UWM following Rick Costello's resignation amid a review of the athletic department. Former Packer George Kuntz also had a short stint as the Panthers AD from 2009 to 2010.
The other two, Amanda Braun was one of 3 finalists in the position. The other 2 were Paul Polinsky and Director of Athletics at UW-Whitewater. Whitewater has produced lots of Division III national champions over the past decade, so many thought Polinsky had the inside track to the job. The other finalist was James Schmidt, who's the Director of Athletics at University of Illinois Chicago.
UW-Milwaukee sports clubs continue to argue for more consistent funding from the university. The 19 clubs are looking to reserve a chunk of segregated fees money exclusively for their use. In the past, sports clubs applied for money through the Senate Allocations Committee. Student Finance Committee Chair Camille Ridgway agrees that sports clubs need a reserve amount for funding.
The club sports have different needs that are unmet by having sort of shaky funding levels. For instance, they want to plan in ahead which tournaments they can aspire to go to and what equipment they'll actually be able to afford.
With no objection.
Even with both sides mostly in agreement, the negotiation meetings have been rocky at times. Both parties say lack of communication and inaccurate data have slowed the process.
That was a little touchy because we spent a lot of time putting our numbers together and they pretty much told them that they were irrelevant. So that made us a little upset. As the meeting progressed, we allowed them to ask us questions based on the numbers that we provided them. And we really sorted a lot of things out.
If the clubs are funded separately, a newly formed committee made up of student association members and sport club presidents would decide how to divide the funding. UW-Madison is in its own midst of a segregated fee controversy. The Student Judiciary Board found that 2 student clubs received less funding because some members of student government held subjective judgments toward the clubs. Under Madison's segregated fees rules, a club's mission statement can't influence the amount of funding they receive.
Chancellor Michael Lovell says he's optimistic about the proposed state budget. In a campus-wide email, Lovell says the proposed budget calls for $181 million in new money for the UW system, and he says that could benefit UWM in a number of ways. Nearly half of the money is earmarked for improving the quality of the UW system. That could include increases for faculty and staff who have not had raises in years. $42 million is allocated for previously approved construction projects, including UWM projects. And $2 million will go to the Flexible Option Degree Program. That program starts next fall, and UWM is one of the pilot schools for it. The latest proposed budget is quite the contrast from the last biennium, when hundreds of thousands of protesters took to the streets of Madison. They were protesting multi-million-dollar cuts in education and budget provisions that strip unions of collective bargaining rights.
The collective bargaining law is still tied up in the courts, but that hasn't stopped MATC from signing a new contract with its employees. The contract will allow current employees to retire at age 55 with health care benefits. Employees hired after February 14th of next year will need to work full-time for at least 20 years and until they're 60 to qualify for retiree health care. Some board members voted against the contract, saying it violates Act 10 of the state collective bargaining law. That law prohibits bargaining for health benefits, pensions, and several other work rules.
The governor's proposed budget could lead to the lowest tuition increase in years, but that doesn't stop students from taking to Capitol Hill. Students are asking legislators to renew the tuition cap. Governor Walker's proposed budget ends the 5.5% cap. That cap was introduced a decade ago after tuition shot up 15 to 18%. As tuition rises, so does the number of applications for financial aid. In tonight's MATC report, we take a look at how MATC handles the rush of applications.
With applications piling into the financial aid offices, MATC Financial Aid Manager Camille Nicolai has seen that some applicants aren't reading the fine print.
Financial aid has many rules, and I really encourage students to read their award letter when they receive that, and read it every year because different rules change from the U.S. Department of Education. There's a 150% rule. Students can receive 150% of their program credits. So if their program, say, is 60 credits, financial aid will cover 90 credits. And after they reach that 150%, their financial aid is suspended. There is an appeal process in place for that.
One thing students may not be completely familiar with is that they provide financial aid year-round.
Summer financial aid is what the financial aid is left over from the school year. So if a student didn't attend full-time both the fall and the spring semesters of that school year, they would have financial aid available to use in the summer.
For students worried about paying off their loans, Nicolai has a word of advice.
I suggest students live like a student while they're in school so they don't have to live like a student when they are out of school. Use the loan funds as you need it and don't borrow more than you need.
For Panthervision, this is Jabril Gagale reporting.
If you want to learn more about MAT's Summer Financial Aid Program, you can visit matc.edu. And if you haven't applied for financial aid, go to FAFSA.gov.
An $8 million renovation project will have a big impact on your classes starting this summer. The project will shut down 4 buildings beginning with Merrill Hall. Everything, classrooms, computer labs, and offices will need to be moved out, and Merrill will be closed until the spring 14 semester. After that, Johnston, Holton, and Green Halls will be closed. The College of Letters and Science is still working on relocating the classrooms, labs, and offices. The construction project will replace the air handling systems and add air conditioning to the buildings.
People are always looking for ways to make simple tasks easier, but some high school students are doing the exact opposite at the annual Rube Goldberg competition. Goldberg is a cartoonist known for creating complex gadgets to perform simple tasks. As I found out, the competition inspires future engineers. Students at the Rube Goldberg competition have found ways to make hammering a nail as complicated as possible.
James May's truck flies down Little Chicago, which drives the nail into the styrofoam.
These high schoolers have been working since September, developing concepts, creating themes, and of course, building their machines.
We got everybody together, and the team really started to pull together because sports had kind of hindered our ability to do that. And we all got together and really started to come up with a bunch of different ideas and started implementing them, and well, here we are today, I guess.
There is no shortage of dedication with students from Crivets, Wisconsin.
Personally, I got up about 2:30.
Competitors are judged in 6 categories: their theme, complexity, use of household items, team chemistry, presentation, and how Rube-like or comical the machine is.
When they built the 2 bases, they decided to stack them to see if they could do that, and it reminded them of a double-decker bus. So that led them to a London or British theme, which they followed throughout.
Now, a presentation for the Honorable King George of England. Ready, aim, fire!
For judges, the competition isn't only about accomplishing the assigned task.
You learn a lot by having a good time doing it.
Not only are students learning cooperation, but how to use engineering and logic to solve practical problems. In Waukesha, I'm Erin Nordlow for Panthervision. The team from Janesville Craig High School took first place. Janesville and 5 other teams now advance to the national competition.
When we come back, UWM puts their own spin on an iconic shake. We'll take a look at the origins of the dance craze that's sweeping the nation.
And with desktops, laptops, and cell phones, can UWM keep up with the Wi-Fi demand?
All that and more when we return.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
UW-Milwaukee is home to 30,000 students.
And that creates a high demand for internet access.
As Howard Sapiro reports, the campus Wi-Fi system is getting a much-needed upgrade.
You would think that UW-Milwaukee students would be upset with the quality of Wi-Fi they experience each day on campus. Students use their laptops in various locations throughout UWM. The Union seems to be a popular spot.
It's more convenience. There's a lot of spots here to come and set up.
Not only are students using their laptops in the Union, they even use more than one device at the same time. If they are not at one of the tables, you would find students at the computer lab. There are many spots in the lab. Late morning and early afternoon is when it's the busiest. Other times during the day is when you might get an open computer. Although the Wi-Fi service works okay for now, students would pay additional money per semester to see immediate change.
$25 a semester I'd be willing to pay as an individual student.
UWM students are not the only ones affected by campus Wi-Fi. Faculty and staff are affected as well.
Faculty member Jacques Duplessis knows how important the Wi-Fi service really is.
We see it as a strategic and a critical piece of technology as part of our infrastructure. So we take it very seriously, and it has to work well on campus.
Duplessis adds that the upgrade has started in a few buildings and will continue to others. There will be no additional costs or fees for students to use campus Wi-Fi. The money comes from central funding instead. If students have any questions, they are encouraged to contact the help desk to get their answers. In Milwaukee, I'm Howard Sapiro for Panthervision.
If you have any questions about the campus Wi-Fi, you can contact UWM's campus IT support at 414-229-4040 or visit them in Bolton 225.
UWM is receiving a high-end computer software valued at $1.3 million. The Department of Geosciences will use the software to research ways to help the oil and gas industry. Students and instructors will use the programs as exploration tools for oil and gas and research ways to securely dispose of industry-generated carbon dioxide. The grant is from Schlumberger, which is a global service provider to oil and gas companies.
Some new fraternity brothers have brought the latest YouTube trend to the UWM campus. Panthervision's Kimberly Rhyme has the story.
Daniel Graybow is only a freshman on the UWM campus.
Get out of here.
But Daniel, with the help of some brothers, has managed to bring nearly 100 people together on a Saturday to do one thing: to shake. This isn't just any shake, though. It's the Harlem Shake. A new YouTube craze that has reached the UWM campus again thanks to the brothers of the new Jewish fraternity A Pi.
This is kind of like our introduction to the Panther world.
But beyond the YouTube sensation, a question remains. Is this the real Harlem Shake?
The real Harlem Shake? I know it's a dance that started in Harlem, I'm pretty sure. I believe they shake. I don't know.
The real Harlem Shake is a dance that originated in the early 1980s from, you guessed it, Harlem. It gained cultural significance in the 1980s and 90s with the help of rap music videos. Today, with the help of YouTube, a whole new version of this iconic dance has been formed.
Anyway, one person's dancing, this is a song, everyone else is like playing it cool, studying, doing whatever, when suddenly the song breaks down and bam, tons of people there dancing like crazy. And
whether following the original or following the trend, one thing is for certain.
It's just really fun and crazy, and you get to do whatever you want and act really silly and really show off whatever you have. And
I know that what we're doing isn't the real Harlem Shake, but this will be cooler, I think.
In Milwaukee, I'm Kimberly Ryan for Panthervision.
We'll show you some other UWM Shake videos at the end of our newscast, but now Sarah Christofferson joins us with the weather. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
So, Sarah, what's going to shake out for the weather this week?
You know, it's going to be an interesting week, I think. We're not off to a really good start today. So we had the snow last week, and now we had the rain over the weekend, and now it's looking like today and tomorrow we're going to see a little bit of both. So it's not going to be that nice. It's looking like last week we got a video of the snow, and you can see the slippery conditions, and whoa, then it almost goes down in those slippery conditions. But that ice might possibly come back in the next 2 days. So again, be careful walking around campus. We're going to have, again, that gloomy start for today and tomorrow. We're looking at foggy conditions. It's going to be hard to see outside. We're also looking at that rain and snow mix. So, again, be careful walking around. As we move on into the week, though, we're going to see some sun on Wednesday, and we are also going to see those clouds move back in, unfortunately, Thursday and Friday. Our current conditions right now, though, we do have clouds moving in. We also have rain and drizzle that could possibly switch over to snow later today as the temperature keeps dropping. Our temperature as of right now is 37 degrees, and the dew point is 37, which means we are at 100% humidity. Today we have, again, that rain, fog, drizzly mix, and our high today is going to hover around 39, but it's going to drop as the day goes on, and that low tonight is going to be around 25 degrees. As we get into the lows from overnight, it was 27 in Rhinelander, 29 in Eau Claire. Moving back across the state in Green Bay, it was 33 degrees, and in Madison and Milwaukee, it was 32 and 35. Moving into the highs today, though, we have not so good in Rhinelander, 29 degrees, Eau Claire 32 at freezing, La Crosse 33, Oshkosh at 35, and Madison and Milwaukee at 35 and 39. Looking at tonight, it's going to be cloudy, and we're going to have some breezy conditions moving in tonight and tomorrow. We're going to have wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour tomorrow, with wind gusts as high as 25. Tomorrow we're going to have cloudy conditions, and as we move into the rest of the week, we're seeing that rain and snow come back on Thursday, and then Friday we're going to see the sun pop out. Saturday and Sunday we're looking at those clouds again, and possibly on Sunday again that rain and snow mix that is just so popular during this March month. So
you think we're going to see spring soon?
You know, I'm hoping. I think we're going to keep riding that roller coaster that March always brings us, but I'm crossing my fingers that spring will start sooner rather than later this year.
The Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is handing out its college awards, and once again, UWM and MATC are at the top of the list. The WBA named UWM Panthervision as the best newscast in the state. The Broadcast Club at UWM was also honored with an award for Best Public Affairs Program. And our student partners at MATC took top honors for Best Non-News Long-Form Production for a show about radio legend Bob Reitman. Coming up next, we'll have more on UWM's new athletic director.
And we've seen some Harlem Shake videos already, but later we'll show you one UWM video that's racked up nearly 200,000 views on YouTube.
All that and more when Panthervision continues.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
It's been a busy time for UWM Athletics with the new AD taking office.
Howard Sapiro has it all covered and joins us now for sports. Howard?
As we told you at the beginning of our newscast, Amanda Braun is UWM's new athletic director. She is currently the Executive Senior Associate Director of Athletics at Northeastern University in Boston. Braun had previously worked at UW Green Bay before taking the job at Northeastern. She says she's excited and looking forward to continuing UWM's excellence.
I talked about the strong foundation here at UWM of success and the standard of excellence that UWM Athletics has set within the Horizon League. So I feel really blessed right now to be here and to be able to work with such committed and passionate coaches and staff and students and colleagues across campus to build upon that foundation and to ensure that UWM continues in a leadership position of excellence within athletics.
Braun is set to take office as the new athletic director May 1st. The women's swimming and diving and Horizon League Championships is coming to UWM for the second straight season. The Panthers were trailing coming into the final day of the meet, but ended up with a jump into pool celebrating their first place finish.
It took us a little while to get rolling, but once we got rolling, once we got past those first two distance events, we kind of got into the groove.
And did they ever? The Panthers' 400-yard freestyle relay team took first. Junior Emily McClellan, who was part of that relay team, won the 200-yard breaststroke. The men's swimming and diving team was looking for its fourth straight Horizon League championship, but placed second in state. Sophomore K.G. Hager was named diver of the meet after placing first in both the 1 and 3 meter diving categories. The outstanding finish also earned his coach Todd Hill the Men's Diving Coach of the Year award. The regular season is over for UWM women's basketball team. The Lady Panthers faced off against the number 20 ranked UWGB Phoenix on Saturday at the Klatsche Center. UWM lost 80-56. The win is the 21st straight for UWGB. The Lady Panthers were no match for GB's Lydia Bauer and Adrienne Ritchie, who scored a combined 41 points. The Phoenix shot nearly 50% from the field and 60% from beyond the arc. The women's team will play this Wednesday at Loyola in the conference tournament. The women's team has been working under a new head coach this year. Yu Lin caught up with Kyle Recklitz and the Lady Panthers to see how things went.
The basketball season for the Lady Panthers will come to a close soon. Coach Kyle Recklitz describes her first season with the team.
You know, it was a challenging start to the season, building a new culture and trying to figure out what our new system was going to be, just both offensively and defensively, and the challenges that come with that.
While trying to build a new culture, the Panthers embraced some change.
Yeah, well, differently from the last staff, we're pushing the ball a lot more, higher pace transition game. We're shooting a lot more threes.
The season is almost over, but the coach has hopes for next year.
Just want to continue to go up, and that's our biggest thing is that every game we want to compete. Every day we want to challenge our players.
Coach Richards says she has a special strategy for encouraging the team.
We just kind of give them the confidence and tell them we believe in them, and hopefully that brings out more of the excitement than the nervousness.
The Panther team had some advantages and also some disadvantages during the season so far.
I'd say our advantage is definitely our three-point shooting. We're up leading the country in three-point field goals made per game.
Our disadvantage is probably our size, but I think we make up for it with how hard we work and how bad we want it.
The Panther team practiced for 2 hours every day before the games, hoping that they could make it to the Horizon League tournament in Milwaukee and Wheeling for Panthervision.
Thanks, Howard.
Hopefully the women's team has better success in the league tournament.
Yep, they just need to get through it.
Earlier in our newscast, we showed you a Campus Harlem Shake video.
As you might expect, that's not the only one.
We're going to leave you tonight with a look at Harlem Shake videos from the women's swim team and the School of Architecture.
Thanks for watching. You can watch us every Wednesday and Friday at 5 o'clock on Time Warner Cable, Channel 14, and AT&T Uverse, Channel 99.
Have a great week, everybody.
Harlem Shake.